What's the deal, man? PolitiKan the Podcast, man. After a week hiatus, man, we back again. Big news, man. PolitiKan Broadcasting is now available on Apple TV. So download that Roku app TV. Download that Apple TV application, man. All our content you can find on PolitiKanBroadcastingNetworks.com. We got the merch dropping soon. Political expressions, own clothing brand. We got a lot in works, man. We're also a new resident company in Riverside Studios. So PolitiKan Broadcasting has a new home, Riverside Studios, located in Riverside, California. It's time to get it in, man. So today we got to talk about this platinum package, man, that Donald Trump is offering to black people, man. The first president to offer a deal specifically to black people. He says, and I quote, it's a contract with black people that he's offering. If they vote Republican for the next 4 years, this is what he's guaranteeing us in return for voting Republican. So I'm being in my crew, man. I got the OG homies, the OG cast. Bringing the homies right now. What's the deal? What's the deal?
What's happening, everybody? What's happening?
What up?
We got Ronnie, HNS 420, man.
HNS all day.
The Higher Learning Podcast, man. Check that out. If you ain't checked it out, man. HNS 420 clothing. They everywhere, man. Yes, we got my boy Alvin. Focus on the future. You should have take that hat off though, because I'm a Laker hater.
That's why I changed my outfit, baby.
You know what I'm saying? LeBron can't be a GOAT because that championship don't qualify as GOAT talk. You can count it. It counts.
LeBron ain't the GOAT. It's just
but you're gonna need one more. You're gonna need one more to get that GOAT talk, LeBron.
No, he need two at least.
Two more,
maybe three.
Nah,
he got to pass.
But
Mike.
He did it. 4 teams, 4 MVPs, East and West Coast. He get one more with the Lakers. He's the GOAT.
That's not tight though to be switching teams like that. Like that means you control everything. You control your roster. Like that's not dope. What if Jordan?
I'm not even go down that road with that.
Like anybody can switch teams and pick their players.
I'm not even go down this road with you, boy.
Let's not start this, bro. I got time today, y'all. I got time. Time.
And how many playoffs he had to go through to get 4?
17 seasons.
Hey, this doesn't say LeBron. This says
10 NBA champions.
Why are we celebrating second place? Since when did we celebrate silver medalists? So what if he went to the finals? He fucking lost. When did we ever celebrate silver medalists? I don't understand this shit. I don't understand.
Championships. Lakers have.
Hey, he lost to Dallas.
I don't like LeBron. I feel like y'all attacking me.
Hey,
Alvin, I was attacking Kalum, not you.
You gotta remember, LeBron did beat that Thunder team though when Thunder was the shit.
Yeah, when they were in diapers, KD was 20.
Russell KD was Lord. That was Lord KD.
He also lost to Dirk.
Dirk was don't sleep on Dirk. Dirk was that
lost
boy
to the
though.
Dallas
Man.
Mavericks. Jordan
Jordan
lost to who in the championship? Nobody.
All right, let's get started with this though. So, have you guys heard of this platinum package? Because of course, mainstream media and social media doesn't want the world to know about Trump offering black people a plan. So of course, mainstream media is kind of hiding it. They ain't pushing it to the forefront. So as far as black people, a lot of us don't even know that Trump is even offering this to us. And this is why I wanted to do an episode on it. So did you guys hear about this platinum pack before we decided to do a show on it? Or?
Personally, I heard nothing about it until you sent it to me. I tried to Google it, and it was a very difficult topic to try to find. Like it wasn't just like the very first search on Google. Like it was kind of crazy.
Okay, now another thing about Google is that they came out maybe 2 years into Trump's election. They got caught manipulating search engine results during the Hillary campaign, where you couldn't find anything positive on Donald Trump in Google search, where they're filtering anything positive from Donald Trump out. And the dude that was running Google he testified and said, yeah, we did this, and we made sure that if you enter something into Google, you'll have to go through 100 pages before you found anything positive on Trump. So the Democrats, man, they got their own little dirty tricks, man. So we be all focused on Trump. The Democrats is just as dirty, man. So we gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? We stuck in the middle of some bullshit. For real.
I mean, shit. I never thought of it as a Democrat versus Republican thing. I mean, a politician is a fucking politician. Like, period, point blank. They all, at the end of the day, play for the same team. They're all on the same team. So this platinum pack, let me get on this damn platinum pack. Man, if Trump...
Now, what? Hold on. The first question I want to ask is, by Trump offering something to black people, does that change the way that you feel about this election? And does that change the way that you feel about him?
Who want to go first?
I'll go first because I love to. So at first, when I heard about it, well, not heard about, but just thinking about how Trump is, I used to like Trump before he got elected. Like I had 2 ties that I took from my father-in-law that were Trump ties, and I was like, hey, when I rock these, I'm gonna let people know I'm about that money. Just sarcastically, you know what I mean? But I haven't felt any way, shape, or form respected as a black man since he's been in office. And it's not because I think he's, not looking at our best interests. I think he's only looking at people who are wealthy. And in his mind, most black people aren't wealthy, so we don't matter to him. And then for this to be somewhat of like a contract, I feel like this is like 2020, like slavery 2.0, because a contract is something that should have loopholes that could be exploited or things that could end up slipping up or we might not know of, and we take this little package and then they turn around, they got us on whatever. Like I don't even know. I think it's another smoke and mirror ploy. I think it's directly from him, but I don't know where it's supposed to help us in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, I mean, do I feel different about the election? No, of course not. Donald Trump is going to say whatever the fuck it takes to get people voting for him, especially people of color. So, that right there is definitely nothing but it's a cap, for lack of better words. It's a cap. Do I feel different about him? Double fuck no. Donald Trump has never fucked with black people. I don't care what nobody say. When you have a father that wouldn't rent his properties to black people, that shit runs in the bloodline. That's directly in the bloodline. His father's a fucking racist, and so is he. He's never fucked with black people, ever, ever, ever. People fuck with Trump before this because they didn't know how much of a racist he is because he had bread. And bread, Trump is he loves money more than he hates black people. I can say that. Trump loves money. So he will fuck with some of the black people with money. So that's why, but people don't do their research on this guy. This guy is saying this just to get the votes. You mean to tell me a country that's oppressed black people for 400 years is all of a sudden really, really going to let this happen? Even if he does get elected, you really think they're going to let this happen? Hell no. Cap. You know what I mean?
Man, at this point, man, I'm still trying to figure out who I'm going to vote for. At the end of the day, I don't really know. I don't believe in neither of them, to tell you the truth. I believe Joe Biden's a liar. I believe Trump's a liar. I believe Joe Biden's going to say whatever he wants to say to get black people to vote for him as well. Because I seen a couple stuff of Joe Biden coming out saying some racist stuff as well. Trump, we know he racist as well. So I just go, I'm really going pro and con this. Which one is the closest to my moral standard, and go off of that. Or I might vote for somebody else instead of those two. I don't have to vote for the, like, they ain't the only two people on the ballot. Like, there's gonna be other names on there. So maybe I don't want to put my name by either or. So that's my whole outtake. And they both using whatever they can to get black people to vote for them. You know, Trump using the contract, Biden, Kamala, you know, they're all using their own little ploys to get us to vote for them. And then at the same time, we're going to end up another 400 years marching, trying to figure out what are we going to do, when you going to make us equal. And they're like, hell no, we ain't, y'all haven't got it through your mind yet. We ain't never going to make y'all equal.
Hey, I got a question.
Real.
Hey, I got a question.
One thing that
Caleb, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Real quick. So,
okay.
Damn, now I just completely lost the question. No, I literally lost it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my whole thing with this is
that it was the votes. My bad. It was the votes, because I know you know a lot more than I do. So you know how this is actually directed at us for our votes for the Republican side for Donald Trump, right? My question is, when he won, it wasn't because of the popular vote, it was because of the electoral votes, right?
Facts.
So why would our vote right now actually matter as much when it comes down to him being elected this go around? If last time we didn't vote for him and he still won anyway, when our votes aren't electoral votes, they're just like the popular vote. And that's the question I have for you. Like, I don't understand that part.
Okay, so if you remember the last 3 elections, they all came down to one state and what they refer to as swing states. States that aren't technically Democratic or Republican, and that they can either go either way. So Florida is the biggest swing state in the equation right now. So if you remember with George Bush, when he lost to Al Gore, and then they did the recount in Florida, and then he ended up winning the recount, and then he ended up winning Florida, which got him his second term. With Hillary, she won, but guess what? She lost Florida. That's what made her lose to Trump. With Obama, he won Florida, and that's why he won the presidency his first term. So Trump is trying to do this to make sure that he gets those black people out in those swing states like Florida to assure that he turns those states red so that he doesn't lose those electoral votes. So basically, he's just doing it as a ploy so that he can try to win those swing states or try to keep those swing states, because that's how he got his presidency in the first place. Spots like us, like California, we're blue. We ain't voted nothing but blue in the last 50 years. So he doesn't expect to turn us red, you know, but places like Florida, like Texas, you know, is wide open, man. And he's trying to do his push, man, to make sure he get those states so he can get those votes.
Wow.
That still doesn't make sense. That still doesn't make sense to me, because if it's a swing state, are we still not going by the overall, who has the overall most popular votes? So if you just win a swing state, you like, how does that?
So each state gets a certain amount of votes, electoral college votes. I don't know the total, but it's divided upon the 50 states. And depending on the population of each state, depends on how much voting power or electoral college votes you get. So California, New York, you know, Florida, Texas, the bigger states with the higher populations get more electoral college votes than a Wyoming, than a Idaho, because they don't have the population or the voting power. So basically the electoral college was set up so that a state like California isn't equal to a state like Delaware. You know what I'm saying? So the population doesn't equal out.
What he's trying to do is get
the voting power.
So in other words, the popular vote still doesn't matter, though, because you're talking about electoral. So the popular vote still doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't, because most of the time the states
this is why people don't want to vote.
They are.
This is why people
Democratic
don't vote.
states, whether it's from my studies, whether it's half of the population of the state going out to vote or all of the population of the state going out, it doesn't really change the denomination. So if it's a Democratic state, whether 100,000 people vote or 5 people vote, chances are it's still going to be a blue state. You know what I'm saying?
So why are people pushing this voting shit so much? Why are people pushing voting so much?
Because they're pushing the bullshit.
If you don't participate, then you leave it to manipulation. So if there's really people out there manipulating the polls and manipulating the votes, if I have less people votes to count, then it's easier for me to manipulate the system the way that I want to. So
it's just hard.
If they really got the Russians over here fixing the election, if they got 100 million less voters, it makes it a lot easier for them to actually go ahead and manipulate the scenario. So
pretty much
that's the biggest thing about everybody going out to vote. Yeah, is that everybody cast their vote so that it can be more transparency. It's less, and you're not able to manipulate the system like you would if you have less voters.
So if I'm going out for president, all I would need to do is try to get let's say there's 4 big states. I just need to get like 2 of the 4 big states and I pretty much win.
Yep, pretty much. It usually comes down to 2, 3 states.
If I get Texas and Florida, who cares that a whole bunch of people voted in California? I got Texas and Florida. And if I can make it go 50-50 in, let's say, New York, another big state, then boom, I win.
Exactly. So this is why throwing out Kanye West onto the ballot it is basically that whole ploy of, hey, if I take away some of those Democratic votes, then it helps me keep some of these states red. So this is where, the whole Kanye West thing comes in, where when you don't vote for one or the other, it's not going to be an independent. It's not going to be Kanye. So it's either going to go Republican or Democrat. So when you don't vote Republican or Democrat, it's like you're really not really casting any vote. You're throwing a pebble in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this different things in this platinum package, man. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up, because I feel like this is probably our first thing that we need to change. And I want to hear from you first on this, Alvin, because you always are focused on the future. But the education, he's promising education that we can choose. So all the black schools that are failing the state mandated tests will be able to basically be replaced with full choice schools with curriculums chosen by the community. So if we have a failing black school in a black community that can't pass these state mandate tests, we're able to replace that school with, let's say, a vocational school and choose the curriculum that our children will receive. That's very intriguing to me, because the curriculum that I was taught growing up is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a big change that is necessary. And this is why he's throwing that at us, because he's trying to throw us a bone. And it's crazy because Ice Cube, we talked about Ice Cube's contract with black people, and it's kind of like he took that manuscript and then used that to write this. Yep. And it's like, and then try to make it his plan. Trump is crazy with plagiarizing. You remember when Ivanka? You remember when Ivanka
that sounds
Trump?
About right.
That's about right.
Yeah. Did you guys remember when Ivanka Trump gave a speech, and the whole speech was plagiarized from Michelle Obama?
Bro, this been happening forever, man.
Man, like they good at taking some shit and trying to take credit of it, man. So
we invented a lot of shit that they took credit for.
Yeah, this was actually in Ice Cube's plan for contract for black people, and then he just kind of took it and took what he wanted out of it, and basically
And we
giving
got
us
in trouble
full
for
choice.
plagiarism in school.
Yeah. So how do y'all feel about that, man? Is that something that I
Well,
feel like
I'll say
that's
this for you.
cap? Go
No,
ahead.
Here's a real funny one for everybody, right? And we'll only go recent. So when LeBron was talking all that shit during the bubble season or during the bubble playoffs or whatever, um, that one cop who said he should put up the 100,000 or whatever, he got reprimanded, and somebody else said something to LeBron about, oh, if he was to come into the White House, Donald Trump would sit down and listen to him and hear out his thoughts. As much as this is off of Ice Cube's, like, black people contract, so to speak, this is more or less like a direct like slap at LeBron, or not at LeBron, but it's almost like he's trying to mirror the whole I Promise school too. Because as much as we all can talk about the whole, LeBron on the court, everybody loves LeBron off the court now because he went back home, he started this foundation, he started this academy that was based off of the community he grew up in. They gave parents who didn't have jobs or opportunity to go back to school to get their GED, kids bikes to ride to and from school. It's almost like as if he's trying to look around and see the stuff that's been more or less like popular the last couple years, and try to like basically say it can be done for everyone. And I mean, here in the Antelope Valley, we have like a few private schools or whatever, but only one has that actual control of the community saying, hey, I want my kid to learn this, and they actually, put their program based around that demographic, not that demographic, but that like major or whatever. I mean, we have a lot of engineering out here because we have like 3-4 naval bases and all that good stuff. We push engineering. If we had schools out here that are failing like we do, nothing's going to change because everybody in our community wants kids to be engineers. So I don't know if it's really worth it. I think it's more or less just him, like you said, throwing a bone. Like he's shown me with everything he's done that he's not focused on the future when it comes to the kids. He wants to kind of keep them stupid so that the people who are about the money can continue to make their moves. And when the kids get older, if their parents didn't set them up for generational wealth, they'll just end up being poor like everybody else.
Man, I want some. I believe it when I see it. Shit, like it all sounds nice, man. It all sounds nice. It's been sounding nice for the last my whole 37 years. You hear all these promises. You hear all now. Of course, granted, we haven't had a package created like this for Black people before, but we've had plenty of presidents saying what they were going to do. This, that. Man, miss me with the bullshit. I will believe that when I see it. Period. Point blank. There's nothing else to say about that for me. I will believe it when I see it.
So you don't believe that any president will offer anything specifically to Black people in America? Such a fault?
They can offer that.
Does this set precipice now? Now that it's been out there and the president has put it on the table, can we expect this from presidents going forward? Can we demand this from presidents going forward? Now that a president has actually put a deal on the table.
Nah, I don't think we could demand a damn thing. I mean, we've been demanding a lot of shit for the last. You know what I'm saying? We've been demanding a lot. Did anything get answered for us? Like I said, they ain't never tried to make it good for Black people.
To be honest,
what makes you think they're gonna start now?
This would have really been the year. Like as I'm wearing my Laker hat, this would have really been the year that if all Black athletes decided they weren't going to play until change was made, that it would have changed everything. This election would have been so up in the air. There wouldn't have been, everybody feeling like it's for sure Biden or Trump or whatever, because there would be no football, no baseball, no basketball, no hockey, no soccer, no nothing going on right now because every sport is predominantly Black. Like, I think it would have really put some fire in the ass and like really put pressure on following through on these promises or false hope or whatever. But now knowing that, like, for example, the Lakers won, nobody gives a damn about anything. People over here already burning up, right by the Staples Center and stuff. Like, it's about to go whatever direction the Republicans wanted to go, just because we didn't make a stand when we could have.
I agree with that.
I know.
I'm just
I got that
agreement
from
with
y'all to Kennedy. I can't lie. I got that from y'all. I took that from y'all. I've been listening to him for the last couple months, and he was right. Low key.
I'm in agreement with Ronnie on this one. Like, we so focused on, like, I just don't get it. We just so focused on broken promises. Like, you won't take a broken promise from your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend or whatever the case may be. I love you, baby. I ain't never gonna cheat on you again. I ain't never gonna cheat on you again. Like that's what they be doing to us. And then we go back every 4 years. All right, let's go vote for them. Yeah, let's go vote. Oh yeah, let's go do it. And then they go cheat on you again. And then you get your little heart broke. And you ain't moving on. And I just think we at the point where they're going to tell you what you want to hear. It's like when you go in and try to buy a car, they're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to act like you know you can't finance a car, but they're going to act like you can. They're still going to take you on the test drive, and that's what they do with us. They toy around with us, and then we go, okay, yeah, they did this for us. They didn't do anything for you. If they ain't, and man, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't, unless they're going to make everything equal, which they ain't gonna make everything equal, then it don't matter what they do. They'll give you the bare minimum, the bottom of the barrel, and say, hey, be happy with it.
Right. If it ain't reparations, get it the fuck out my face. Everybody else got reparations. Every other oppressed group in the world got fucking reparations. If we can't get reparations, get all that other shit out my face.
Stop cheating on me.
Speaking of reparation, fucking Obama paid reparations to Japan for Hiroshima and Nagasaki for dropping the atom bombs on them. But didn't Japan attack us at Pearl Harbor? And that was the reason why we went. So these niggas came and suicide bombed us on our sovereign land, and then we went and dropped the bomb on them and then paid them niggas, but can't play black people in America. And Obama signed off on that. The black president gave reparations to the Japanese that came and attacked us before they gave money to us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so they have no plans on ever paying.
I'm so bad at history. Obama was what?
The 44th president?
No. What was he? Democrat, Republican?
Democrat.
Yeah, he was Democrat.
Okay. I'm just making sure that everybody else knew too. You know what I'm saying? Because we always on these Republicans. These Democrats don't love you. These Democrats don't love you.
He was a senator.
It's not even that. The president,
senator in Chicago.
The president don't got no real power, is what people don't fucking understand. Obama couldn't do shit. It's a lot of shit that he had to do that he probably did not want to do as a nigga. As a nigga first, he was like, hell nah, I'm not doing this shit. When you got 1,000 white men above you and you got to answer to other motherfuckers, of course you're going to do it. So I don't even blame Barack for some of the shit because, you know, he had to do it. He had to. It's shit that we don't know that's going on behind closed doors and shit, different deals. You don't know what's going on back there. So if they threaten your family or do something, you got to.
I get what you're saying, but my whole thing is that hold on.
If Obama couldn't do nothing for us and he black, what you think Joe Biden gonna do for us and he white? It's gonna go back to how it was. We're back, guys. Yeah, we got our power back. We gave them their black power. Let them feel like they empowered. Wakanda. They let them feel like they empowered for 4 years, 8 years, and then let's take it back.
Right.
Let's take it back.
But you know what? Obama threw out a lot of subliminals to let us know what was coming. He threw out a lot of subliminals. Mm-hmm. Every president has. As soon as Trump got into office, I swear I started talking to my daughters about it. I said, this man said Space Command. He said United States Space Command. I said, get ready. And you guys know what? Guess who's the first ballot nominee to host the United States Space Command? My backyard, Yajaketta's backyard, right here in Antelope Valley. They're the ones that put in the request to be United States Space Command, like home base. So I mean, there's always truth there. So Obama let us know that change was. Hey, Obama said change was coming, and he said to have hope. I guess 4 years later, we should.
They don't love you.
So let's get back to this platinum pack.
Yes,
So
sir.
another part is that the Minority Business Development Agency. It's a temporary program. He's saying that he will make that a permanent program and make the leader of the program an assistant secretary within the White House cabinet.
Didn't he also say that it would be selected though? That the person would be selected, not voted in?
Yes, but we would select the leader of the organization as Black people, and then he would promote the leader of that organization into his cabinet as a permanent position.
So what we're
not
saying,
only in his presidency, but in all presidencies going forward. So it will be a minority business agency that will be added to his cabinet to make sure that we have a voice within his cabinet that's looking out for minority businesses.
So is it Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton?
I don't think it's neither one of them. You know, they super Democrats. So there's no way that
like
are they
Republican man gonna bring in a super Dem.
No, yeah. I'm just saying, like, who else?
Jesse Jackson ran for president as a Democrat. He actually tried to get on the ballot and lost.
Jesse Jackson ain't no damn Democrat. Jesse Jackson full of shit. Come on, man. Let's keep it a band up here, man. Like, come on, man. Jesse and Al Sharpton, both of them full of shit, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though they've been the most jigaboo, you know, quote unquote black politicians, you know, for at least my young lifetime. Like, I don't know who else would even go up there. Like, Kanye already threw his name on the ballot. Jay-Z ain't gonna step up. Drake ain't gonna step into that.
We don't want none of them silly niggas stepping up.
I'm just being honest. Like, I'm talking about average Black people. I'm not talking about smart Black people. Average Black people is gonna want either LeBron, Drake, or who? Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. Somebody that's gonna really sit up here and represent what they really about. You know what I'm saying? Like, all over here doing that goofy shit. Like, I don't know. Like, who would we even be able to look at in a broad span like that? Because every state would have their one city that they think is the best city, and then they're gonna have their one person that they're gonna think, and then it's gonna be 50, you know, like 50 people, and we're just gonna have to vote on 50 as just Black people.
Now, do you think that would even be effective?
No.
Go ahead.
I think with that one, I think there's some small print with that one. I think there's small print with that one based upon that might be the most legit one out of them all, because at the end of the day, Trump is a businessman. So he may figure, hey, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be like some underlining in it that by 2025, Trump gets 10% of every business that comes out or something like that. So, you know, I don't know, man. It's the same thing as who cares? Once again, who cares who they put up in there? They put Chris Paul to run the NBA little league thing, right? And they still
Players Association.
Yeah, they still finished the season out. Lakers still got that little bubble championship.
Yes,
but that was because LeBron wanted to go get his bubble championship. If LeBron didn't want to go hoop,
isn't Chris Paul leading there? If I was Chris Paul, I would have been like, you kick my team out. Like, my team ain't playing in the playoffs.
Regardless of you leading, you can't. First of all, Chris Paul was in the playoffs with the Thunder.
True.
And so he was still playing. But Chris Paul, you can't go against LeBron James. You can't do it.
You just proved my point.
It's not gonna work.
You just proved my point.
I'm just saying.
It don't matter
Chris
who
Paul,
they put
even
in
if
there,
he went against LeBron, you're not gonna win.
You can't go against them white people.
Like y'all said, it's definitely the case of Donald Trump is a businessman, and if he were to bring something like this to fruition, you know it's going to be some type of Eazy-E, Jerry Heller type of situation. Overall, it's going to be some type of David Kenner, I think that's his name, death row situation. It's going to be something like that. It's going to be something where he's going to be getting a big ass percentage or some type of substantial percentage that's going to make sense for his pockets. It's not going to be. He is, man. I'm saying people just don't drink that Kool-Aid thinking that he all of a sudden, or any of these motherfuckers all of a sudden, give a fuck about black people like that. If something like that is strictly a business deal, and it's going to have to make sense for his pockets. Period.
He about to Suge Knight us.
Big fact.
But a lot of them niggas, I don't know, man. This shit.
So who's stepping up and being Tupac, Kalum? Man. Who's stepping up and being Tupac? Is it Al Sharpton?
Honestly, that's probably our biggest problem with all of this is that we're void that leader, and that's why we have to look at LeBron James. And LeBron James, like, nigga, I'm over here hooping for a chip, nigga. I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, LeBron don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Al Sharpton is about LeBron. Al Sharpton is about 190 years old. He don't matter.
Ready? Hey, here you go. Here you go. LeBron will end up being the person, but you know who would make the decisions behind his back? But he would just be the face.
Maverick Carter.
Rich Paul and Maverick Carter. Both of them being businessmen, that would actually work. If they were able to keep his ass out of the limelight with all the indiscretions he did before he got married to Savannah, his son getting caught smoking weed while he was in the bubble. And think about it. Bronny got caught smoking weed, and that did not go viral like we thought it would have. It didn't throw him off. He didn't address it one time in any of the interviews, and he still got his chip and went home. They even got a meme.
He's illegal.
Bron is smart, though, first of all. LeBron is smart. First of all, Bronny didn't get caught. That was done on purpose. Ain't no way you could accidentally post the IG video you smoking. It's a whole bunch of steps in between you pressing post or you pressing record. He did that shit on purpose.
He was live.
That's what I'm saying. So that was no accident. It wasn't he got caught. He did what he did.
No. I don't mean that he got caught, but I mean like he's 16 now. He's a sophomore in high school. He's one of the biggest Twitch gamers in the game right now. He just signed his own contract to be a professional Twitcher. So I mean, or a Twitch gamer or whatever you want to call it, because I don't know personally. But I just think that it's unique. Like it's very unique that the average little hiccup that most average niggas would go off on, he doesn't have to, because he has enough people within his little team to make sure that those issues don't have to hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't even hit him in the chin. It gets killed off at the waist way before it even,
You make a fine point. I would get behind that. Bron do need to do some president shit or something, because him and his little team is more than solid. They powerful as fuck. Like Bron,
he already said that.
Rich
he
Paul,
said
them
that
niggas.
long time ago.
I hope he do it.
He said his objective was to be a billionaire, not to be the best basketball player ever to walk the earth.
He already halfway there.
That's what I'm saying. So if you look at that part, he's about to hit 36. You give it another 3-4 years of him doing dominance in the NBA.
Without the NBA, he'll be a billionaire.
Yeah, and he'll jump right into politics.
Yeah, he signed a $1 billion deal, lifetime deal with Nike.
Yep.
Right.
So
yeah,
he's gonna make $1 billion just off the shoes. So
I'm behind
that. That's inevitable.
I'm behind Ronnie.
Let's get back to this platinum pack. Now this part of it was like I felt like a direct shot at the Democrats and a direct shot at Joe Biden. He wants to include a National Clemency Program to release prisoners with unreasonable sentences with time served, meaning that you're not going to get released on probation or parole. You're going to get released straight time served, no nothing, scot-free. National Clemency Program to reverse some of the mass incarceration that was done by Joe Biden and Senator Harris. Yep. So I feel like this was the biggest part of his plan that actually can be real. He's actually freed a couple people and actually been looking into clemency since he's been in office. This is something that he's actually been doing, whether it was for Kim Kardashian or not. This is something that he's actually done. And like, what was her name? Centoria Brown, the one that killed her pimp. He granted her clemency, and she just got out, and she still had another 20 years on her sentence. So this is something that he's actually been advocating for and has actually granted clemency to people. So this is the one thing that I think that he will actually do, and it's positive because it's a direct reversal of what the Democrats did. So he could be like, hey, I reverse mass incarceration for black people. So it's more just a ploy for him to stick out his chest and say, hey, look, this is what I did for you. The Democrats locked you up. I let you out. How do y'all feel about that?
And then when the money comes in, when all the money goes back into the police reform, to turn around and lock up all those people who just got back out for making one mistake, not two mistakes, not three mistakes, but the first mistake is all going to be laughed at. Because if he lets everybody back out, how are they supposed to get back into life anyway? They were considered felons. That's probably why they were in jail for as long as they were anyway. So it's not like they're going to be able to get a regular job or be able to get employment anywhere to sustain life. So it's like, what good is it going to do? Like, unless you're going to include some type of, program that's going to allow them to get back into society and get a fair chance to make it, it's going to be a waste of time. This is going to be like, hey, look, black people come back out into the society, and then we're going to continue to have all this police brutality that we see every day anyway. And there's just going to be more people that they're just either not going to record and put on social media, or they will. I don't see it being worth it at all. Not unless there's a program. My bad, y'all. Go ahead.
It's all good. It sounds like that. It's like when a person gets cheated on, and that person tells that other person, "I ain't gonna do it again. I ain't gonna do it again." It just sounds like we getting a whole bunch of stuff over, and like I said before, they telling us a whole lot of stuff we like to hear to get your vote. And once they get your vote, they don't really care about you. We're gonna get your vote. After we get your vote, like Mayor Armstrong said, once we get your vote, now we're gonna find a way to put you back in. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't gonna give me equal, all the stuff that you offering me, it's like me offering my wife, like, girl, I give you all the money, I give you everything. Are you gonna be committed? Nah. I didn't say I was gonna do all that. I'll give you everything else but that. That's what they're doing. They're gonna give you everything else but what you really need, and what you really need is equal rights. Facts. We give you everything else. We give you a get out of jail free card. We give you that. But guess what, little nigga? You do something. You look at my wife wrong, I'll put your little ass back up in jail, and I'll give you 20 more years. You know? So
yep.
Stop letting them cheat on you.
Kalum said it, man. He said it earlier. The ploy. Why we can't sit up here and be happy by a damn ploy? Like, he's gonna they say he's been letting people out, giving people clemency. Okay, so if he really gave a shit about this issue, he would have been pushing for this before he became president. So he's doing this shit right now so he can get votes by the little bit. Of course, like we all said, Kalum said he'd rather do it just so he could say, oh, well, the Democrats did this and I undid it. It's a game to him. This is our fucking lives and livelihood. This ain't no game, and it's a game to Donald Trump. That's why I don't respect it. I don't respect none of the shit that he claims he's going to do for us at all. Because if he does some shit, best believe it's for his benefit. So I don't give a fuck. Nah, fuck Donald Trump.
He got rid of Ball.
I feel it.
He let Ball out, right? Or something like that.
But my question though is, what if he actually plans to? Because the way I look at it is that Trump, if you look at all the protests, if you've been out to the protests during all of this, 85-90% of the protesters out there were not black people. So I think that he's not doing this to appeal to black people because he knows he's too far gone to get the black vote anyway. He's trying to appeal to those people that are on the black people's side saying, hey, white people, I'm with y'all. I'm trying to help the niggas too. Look what I'm offering the niggas. So it's not even for us. He's trying to save face with the white people that are on our side. He don't even care about the black vote. He said, what do you have to lose? And he said this again in his Trump rally and then start dancing 2 days ago. when he unveiled on the 25th, when he unveiled the Platinum Pack, he said it after he unveiled it. He gave out all the details, and then at the end of his speech, he said, "Look, this is what I'm offering you. What do you have to lose?" And that's his pitch to black people: is, "Hey, this is what it is. What do you got to lose? Because y'all ain't got shit anyway." And it's a sad reality, but it's the truth. What do? Let's answer that question though. What do we have to lose? Because we don't have nothing to lose, and that's real.
What little respect we still consider that we have, because I'm not going to sit up here and sign what like that's basically like saying I'm gonna sign a contract to give you the rest of my life and my internal soul,
right?
Just so that you can tell people that I'm supposed to be better than I am. I'm supposed to be better these next 4 years than I was ever before. That's bullshit. Like he's not. We have more to like. We have more history coming out now within the last 4 years than we had the last 12 years, as far as like the positive things that's been going on with black people, more inventors, more truth about the people coming, how we came over to North America. I don't know. I would hate to go backwards, to be honest with you. I would just hate to go backwards.
I just think it's one of those, hey, I give you one thing, and I'm going to take 20 things from you. But you ain't going to know those 20 things I'm going to take from you, because I'm going to give you one thing to get your one vote. And then for the next 4 years, I'm going to make something where I'm taking it back. When has America ever gave you something? You can't even walk into a cell phone store and get a cell phone for free. Like, when's the last time you were able? You can't. We got tricked into paying for, in California. We got tricked for paying for grocery bags because they told us it's going to be better for the environment. So then it's so much better for the environment that you go up in your Target and now you got to pay for your own grocery bag. But the atmosphere still ain't getting better, but it's good for us. They tricking us like that. So if you want to get tricked, like here you go, like Alvin said, here you go. Here's my vote. Now give me your soul. You ain't having my soul. Like, nuh-uh.
Not worth it.
Better watch out from the wolves.
That part. I mean, I'm not once again. What do we have to lose? Dignity. I got. I don't want to sit up here and sell out. I feel like I'm selling out if I buy into that. Like I don't want to. I have morals. Mm-hmm. My moral compass is going. Fucking with this dude. Like there's nothing I'm going to be excited about this man doing just because he said he's going to do it. I don't accept gifts from the devil. You feel me? So I don't want that. I don't want that blessing. It's not a blessing for me. It's a curse. The devil can make things look so great, can make things look so real, can make things look so rich, make things look like it's from God, but it's not. Yeah. So I don't want nothing from that evil man. No, I'm good. I'm straight. That's what we got to lose.
Because at the end of the day, what you gotta realize at the end of the day is when you cast your vote, I don't care who you vote for, whatever the case may be. When you cast your vote, I just want y'all to think, like, if 2 years from now, something crazy happens and they go, we want to know who you voted for in 2020. And they pull up, boom, 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 2 lists and be like, these are all the people in America that voted for Joe. These are all the people that voted for Trump. And your friends are able to see who you voted for? Are you fine with the name that you voted for? Are you fine putting your name by Trump? Are you fine with putting your name by Joe? At the end of the day, who is closer to your moral values? If neither of them ain't close to your moral values, then hey,
don't vote for either one.
Just don't vote, or vote for some independent. Like, I don't know.
But the narrative is pushed to
don't know.
vote, go do that. Like, so it's hard for people not to, because everyone looks at you like it's taboo not to vote, or if you vote for an independent party, they say, oh, it goes to someone else. But like y'all said, like, I can't look at myself in the mirror at all the next day if I say that I voted for Donald, Hillary, Biden, or any of these motherfuckers. Like, no, I can't do it. They all fucking evil. Hillary wasn't great. People, oh, Hillary's a lesser of evil. No, she is not. She is quoted saying black men are all super predators. That's the biggest slap in the face ever. Like, fuck that bitch. I'm sorry, lack of better words. So what? She was not cool at all. She was racist. Her husband and her passed the 3-strike rule. They never fuck with black people. Yeah. Stop it. None of them.
Kalum, question when it comes to the vote.
Yeah.
Does the voting that we're doing when it comes to the presidential election, that part, we don't have as much control over, but when we go to the ballots, are we also able to vote for our community officials and school board electives and all?
That's what we need to focus on. Stuff?
You know what I mean? Because like, I know I have a lot of people, me and the kids and whatnot. We're all talking about the different school board, superintendents and stuff like that. Is that as important on these ballots that we're discussing within this platinum package? Like, we know this is up here, but are they actually is any of the platinum package actually affecting any of the local officials within our like government?
So federal government and state government is two different branches. Okay. So what Trump is talking about in the platinum plan is a federal government program. So what you're talking about is on the state level. Okay. So they're complete different branches, but they go on the same ballot. But I think that the state is way more important than the federal, because the federal oversees, but the states, I guess, own laws supersede other laws. This is why Yaziketa brings up all the time. Now in California, you can be 12 and date a 22-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's only in California. In the federal government, that's illegal. But on the state level, in California, it's illegal. So we have the power to overturn some of the things that we don't agree with in the federal, under federal jurisdiction, by voting it and controlling it state by state. So we have the power to do whatever we want. The government doesn't have the power over us, but they have the power over our money. They have the power over our taxes. And that's why the federal government has basically ultimate power, because they control the money. The states control the people.
Joe, we should be worried about Houston.
Exactly. The states control the people. The federal government control the money. So we want to, as a people, we want to make direct change. We need to control the government on the state level, because that's something that we can change damn near instantly. There's elections every 2 years. There's open seats every 4 years. So this is something that we can participate in regularly and make changes directly within our community. But we need Black people to start running for these positions. One thing that I'm thinking about working on and putting together is a manuscript that just goes through all the local and state government positions and describes to you what they are and how much money they make and what their actual job title is, so that we understand what a secretary of state does, what a city councilman does, what a school board assistant does. We know these titles, but we don't really know what they do. And a lot of times what they do is allocate funds. They get the budget from the federal government, and then they decide where this money goes. Because we never have any people that represent our community sitting in these seats. We get the bottom of the barrel. We got the Jewish dude sitting there. We got the Asian dude sitting there. We got the Hispanic dude sitting there. We got the white dude sitting there. And they all say, hey, this is for my community. This is for my community. And then it's $5,000 left, and they be like, okay, well, let's split that with the black schools, and then we get no money, and it's because we don't know of these positions, therefore we don't seek these positions, and it's for us to teach the children what a judge is, what a congressman is, what a senator is, so that they can actually aspire to be that instead of being a TikToker, because they all want to do TikTok now, man. It's the biggest thing for these kids. Like you can ask some of these kids what they want to be when they grow up, and they can tell you a TikToker or a video gamer, because that's what they see and that's what they want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
Hey man, I think you should do that, bro. Like for reals, because we are so focused in on. I mean, and the media pushes it. Joe Biden, Trump, Trump, and then once we get a president here, they're gonna do it again in another 4 years. But at the same time, like, ain't nobody stopping Newsom from just signing his name to stuff that was going on. You know what? You know who I'm voting for? I'm voting for whoever's the first one that gets rid of the mask, and I don't have to take a vaccine. That's who I'm voting for. That's who I'm voting for.
Well, it's crazy because the Democrats are plugged in with Bill Gates, and big Bill Gates is leading the way for this vaccine. So if the Democrats win, the vaccine is pretty much more likely to come into fruition than it is with the Republicans. So we also got to think about that. If
Bill Gates came out and said there's going to be a nuclear war, there's going to be a nuclear war with a vaccine. He said that on his little TED talk, and now he over here heading a vaccine. Man, get out of here. He trying to kill us.
And it was coronavirus that he used in the trials. So he even said the same virus that we're infected with right now. So
what are he doing with vaccines? I thought he made computers.
Yeah, the computers make the drugs. So he got everything that the computers the machines. Mm-hmm. The machines are the ones pressing these pills and these drugs.
Man, I ain't taking no damn vaccine. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Taking no damn vaccine.
You ain't pumping me with that.
I ain't taking no fucking vaccine. I'm not taking none of that shit. The CDC already said the coronavirus deaths was only 6% of the actual. The number was 6%. Mm-hmm. They already said that. So what the fuck am I gonna take a vaccine for? Come tie me down and give it to me. Make me take it. Come tie me down and put that shit in me.
Hey, Trump, you know what's going on in Texas, though, right? In Texas,
what?
In Texas, they are going around door to door in Texas with a paramedic, and they got their little book, and they're going around door to door saying, "Hey, how do you feel about the COVID?" and blah 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 blah. Could we get a blood sample from you?
Man, they gonna get the door slam in their face so fast like they a Jehovah's Witness on my mama.
Wow.
Do you want a blood sample?
That's going on in Texas right now.
See, that's why I'm in California.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Trump? Did y'all see Trump rally, man? So he did a rally. He go out there. He takes off his mask. He says that he's immune from COVID, and then he starts dancing. And shit's hilarious. He said he feel good, and he immune from. And then this nigga starts. He busts the move and start dancing. And this is this nigga Trump, man. This nigga is burnt out.
Clown ass.
How you got COVID and it's supposed to be a 14-day quarantine, and 3 days out of 3 days later you're leaving, and 10 days later you're hosting a big rally, and you're dancing, talking about your immunity.
He ain't got no goddamn COVID, you lying bitch.
Or maybe he's saying that the COVID ain't what the media is trying to portray it to be.
That's his angle. He always it's gonna go away.
Hey, I won't lie. My 83-year-old grandfather got COVID and then had his 14-day quarantine and beat it. And I saw him 2 weeks ago, and he seemed a little bit slower than he was before. But I mean, damn, he's 83.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, like he said, yeah, when I quote unquote had it, I couldn't put my pants on. Your grandmama had to help me and all this other different things. But if he was able to fight it, and he's somebody that believes that he could take this lemonade diet to defeat diabetes and arthritis and everything else, like I wouldn't. Please, that's so ridiculous. But
I think the COVID it's a killer. It kills people. I know somebody that died of COVID, but then I also know somebody that the whole family got sick from COVID and nothing happened. So, it just depends on who the person is. But like I said, I ain't taking no vaccine. And if I don't got to wear a mask, I'm voting for that person.
Let's get to this last point, man, which was the biggest cap of it all. He said he was going to interject $500 billion in infrastructure funding to create federal contracting opportunities in the Black community. So it's basically, he said he's going to interject $500 billion to come in and basically clean up Black communities and provide infrastructure funding.
How about you split that money in? How about you just split that $5 billion into just give it to the Black families and let them do what they want?
Yeah, he said 500.
Let me explain what that means, though. So let me explain what that means, though. Is he's just basically gonna give businesses $500 billion in funding to come into the Black community and clean it up. So basically, he's going to talk about $500 billion in gentrification, because the funding is not going to go to the Black businesses. It's going to go to businesses that want to come in and build in the Black community. So you're talking about $500 billion given in funding given to businesses to come gentrify the Black community. But when they gentrify our communities, it will provide jobs for us, and they will use Black contractors that will provide contracts for Black contractors. But the funding directly is going to go to white businesses to come into the Black community. So it's not like that $500 billion of funding is going to go directly to Black businesses so that we can rebuild our own community. He's going to give $500 in funding to people that want to come in and build in the Black community, and then that's going to create jobs for us within our community.
We don't want no damn
job. He's not offering us the funding. He's offering us the jobs that the funding he's going to give to other people are going to create for us.
Man,
we want ownership. We want ownership. We don't want you to create jobs for us. We don't want to work for you. We want to employ you. We don't want to work for you. Fuck that. Take that shit and stick it up his ass. I don't want it.
Or you take that. What? How much was it again?
500 billion.
Okay, you take that. It'll be a start. What you do is you make that into a check for each Black family, and let us do what we want with the money. Let that be the beginning of our reparation checks. So instead of
that's the only way it makes sense. That's the only way it makes sense. Like Kalum said,
I'll let you take that same money. Let me do what I want with it.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, think about this. If he turns around and he says, okay, 500 billion to go and clean up the Black communities, but he's able to give the money to the white upper heads that want to sit up here and employ us to do the different things that we need to get done, isn't it actually taking care of it? I'm being super sarcastic with it too. Isn't that taking care of everyone in his mindset?
Because in his mindset,
nope. It's like the NBA.
They're still staying above us here, right?
Right.
So, like, for example, if all of our nephews and cousins or whatever who can't find jobs at 18, 19, 20, 21 because there isn't as many jobs available, they can just go work for this construction company that's cleaning up construction sites. They can go work at this. They could just have BS jobs that keep them down at middle class or lower. That's all.
Let me give you a perfect example of this. When Obama first took office, you remember he gave out a stimulus. And he gave out stimulus checks to failing businesses, and they were supposed to re-employ everybody, but instead they merged their businesses and bought private islands and took the money. He bailed out Wall Street. And it was called the bailout. And when Obama bailed out Wall Street, he gave the money doing exactly what Trump said he's going to do. And the people were supposed to create jobs within the community. But once you give them the money, you can't control what they do with it. So you saying you're going to do this and give $500 billion. But if you give $500 billion and they only take $1 billion of that and actually do jobs with it, 90% of that money ain't even going to go to the businesses. They're going to pocket that and do something else with it. And you can't control what people do with the money after they do. So when you come up with a plan like this, we already seen it happen with Obama and Wall Street. What they do, they took the money, they dissolved their businesses, they went bankrupt, and then went and bought private jets and private islands. So
Hey, listen,
we
man.
already know.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, man. I worked at a job, and I know I made that job a whole lot of money, way more than what they were paying me. I made them a whole lot of money, and they still let me go. So you gonna bring these businesses in? We just puppets to help those white businesses grow. Let them grow, and then you still an employee number at the end of the day too. So it ain't helping nobody out. Give me my reparation check. Stop letting me wear a mask. I ain't taking no vaccine, and stop cheating on me.
And if I'm not mistaken, Kalum, when this went down when Obama was in office, Donald Trump had a couple companies that was involved in that dissolved, that he was able to cash out and move forward on. So it's just ironic that it's just, you know what, I hate to say it, the concept that most older people say, because we all not like 45 up, but they say you guys are some woke ass young men or whatever. Everybody's still asleep. So when you hear the stuff that's being said about what could potentially help us going forward, hope is, like I said, is what Obama was pushing for 8 years. And now it's something that everybody only has left, like hope. And then the whole concept of change is like, well, maybe in 4 years, he did change how he feels. Maybe he really does care about us now. Maybe we do have a chance, because who's going to sit up here and say, after 4 years of you fucking over my life, I'm going to take the 4 years of you just take, like literally, I just sat here and was raped by you for 4 years. And the person that you telling me is better than, or the person that you tell me is worse than you is talking worse shit than you. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? Who's the greater of two evils for us to take? Because right now, low key, Kanye sounded like the best fucking bet. At least he'll have a cute little.
Like,
I'm joking.
So before we get out of here, man, I gotta ask. So November 3rd, man, it's coming up. You probably already got your ballots in the mail, man. Presidential candidate. Who are you voting for? Can you say right now? Are you decided? Or you just Trump is just not an option?
I'm gonna say one thing. I'm not voting for Trump or Biden. I don't give a fuck. I'm not voting for neither one of them. That's all I can say.
I'm going with my moral values. I'm actually gonna look at both of these mother lovers, and if neither of them check my moral values, which they probably not, I'm not gonna vote for them. I'm going pro and con this. Which one? Because I can't go, one's racist and one not. They both racist. So there goes that. You got, at the end of the day, you gotta follow your moral compass. Who you gonna put your name by? And right now, I don't know if I can put my name by either of them.
Facts.
Me personally, I've been trying to do more research on the state level to make sure that I try to get the right people on the school board, maybe get Newsom out of there, you know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. When it comes to presidential candidates, I mean, man, other than Biden, Trump, and Kanye, I have no idea who else is running, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna really take it serious these next couple of weeks and look and see who's on the ballot. But I know that the two big names, I can't rock with them. I can't.
Facts. Respect.
Well, for me, I look at it like this. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for this platinum pack, because now we have a precipice set where now I feel like we can demand this, and going forward, any candidate going forward, if you don't have your own version of this platinum pack, then you can't get our votes. So I think that going forward, you know what I'm saying, we need to definitely get Trump out of here, because just going 4 more years with him, you know, especially when he's talking about he's not going to concede.
Yeah.
If we give him 4 more years, man, this reminds me of the Hunger Games. If you remember President Snow, you know, he was the bad guy, but at the end of the day, they killed President Snow, and then they look up, and the female that replaced him was worse than that nigga. Mm-hmm. So it was like, damn, we so looking at President Snow as like he's the problem, but the reality is the system is the problem. And now we got to get rid of the whole system. And that was what the ending of Hunger Games showed you, is that you can replace President Snow with the next motherfucker. But guess what? We just going to realize that the next motherfucker is just as bad as President Snow. So we got to do away with the system at the end of the day, man. As long as this is the system, we're going to continue to be in the same position. In every election, we're going to be sitting here like, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we voting for any of these motherfuckers?
Facts.
And that's just my take on it. Like, man, we really got to sit back, and we're talking about the lesser of one evil. Evil is evil.
Right.
We're trading a demon for a demon, a devil for a devil.
Right.
I mean, Jesus was in the forest for what, 30 days and 30 nights, tempted with every temptation known to man, for a reason, because this is what's going on right here. Trump, you know, sees black people in the forest, and he's the devil trying to give us all the temptations that he think we could go for, so that we can, you know, the biggest thing about the devil though is that you got to let him in. He can't come into your life. He can't come in. He can't do anything to you without you inviting him in. So Trump, you're the devil. You're knocking at the door, and we ain't letting you in, nigga.
Straight
Let's
up.
get this nigga up out of here, man. Let's figure out what we go from
he already in? Is he already in? Because he's been there for 4 years. So what if
he's in?
Switch it up and
but he's not
Joe?
in. He's in, but he's not in with black people, and now he's trying to get in with black people. He got in with white people. Now he's trying to get in with black people with this, and he ain't getting in the door with us.
Hey, Joe is Snow. If you go back to Hunger Games, Joe is Snow, and Kamala is that lady. You better watch out.
No.
Trump is Snow,
and
Biden is that lady.
No, I would say Kamala's the new chick, because everybody ride with Kamala because of her little facial expression she made during the vice presidential debate. She was doing all the old school black women faces and snapping her neck back and stuff. She gonna really be the one, because if Biden was already Obama's vice president for 8 years, and he was already doing his little due diligence to get things going, if he gets in and Camilla is his vice, she's going to end up being the next Democratic president, and that's when that shit will really pop off, because that'll be the end of our nation if we have a female president as president that has the wrong mindset. It could be wrong. It could go wrong. I'm just saying.
For sure. But we got to get out of here, man. So get your shout outs out before we get up out of here. I still got to go to work, man. Terrible.
Yep. All right, y'all. Yeah, shout out to the PolitiKan Forum. Shout out to co-host Taz, Tara. Shout out to the whole team. Shout out to everybody who been fucking with us since day one. And enjoyed y'all tonight. See y'all next time.
I'll go. Shout out to brand of encouragement, PolitiKan Forum. Oh my God, I can't talk. I'm tired too. Shout out to all y'all for letting me come out here and rock with you guys. You know I love you guys. Always love.
Shout out to the PolitiKan Forum, brand of encouragement, focus on the future, H&L podcast. Thank you to shoot. Am I even in the thing? Running Wild. And keep doing what you do, Kalum. You know what it is. It's your boy Yajaketic.
Yes, sir. So One thing I want to leave y'all with, man, is my favorite quote, man. If they put you in a cage with a lion, just because you don't try to eat the lion, don't mean the lion won't try to eat you. We got to get to it, man. We got to have that lion mindset at all time as black people, man, because we in the cage with lions and we sitting there trying not to eat the lion. And this is why we keep getting swallowed up by every little scenario. And we don't know where to go or how to take it. But if we were a pack of lions, then it would be nothing that we couldn't attack and you know what I'm saying, and accomplish. So PolitiKan the Podcast, man. We'll be back next Wednesday. Check out Political Expressions, man. The merch, man. Hit the website up, PolitiKanBroadcastingNetworks.com. Man, we got a lot of shit going, man. PolitiKan the Podcast, man. I don't know what you gonna do with your life, but I'm gonna get to it. We out.